Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I've got some news that just came out today, and it's very interesting, and it also confirms something that we originally thought, but as of the recent weeks, we thought had changed. So someone is back for Scream 7, and it's official in Production Weekly. So it's not a rumor. It's actually listed in the publication, the official trade publication of the film industry. So I'm going to show you I'm going to show you, first of all, who it is in a minute, and show you the actual clip from the magazine itself, from the publication itself, so you can see. So with this individual back on the team, personally, it gives me more hope for Scream 7 story, and especially if you're a Stew Train member. If you're on that Stew Train, I'm the self-professed conductor of it, and if you have a seat and you are a Stew Truther, it gives us even more hope that Stu Macher might return in Scream 7. I'll give you the details and all the info right now. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Alex Armbruster. I was the main John Carver stunt double in Thanksgiving, and you're watching Craven Something Scary. And there will be no leftovers.
So Production Weekly has issued, for this week's issue, they have published that Guy Busick is back as one of the writers for Scream 7. Now, you guys know all the articles that have come out recently in Variety, Hollywood Reporter, multiple places like that over the last several weeks has really only alluded to James Vanderbilt as writing the new script. And it really looked like he was writing it solo, or was going to write it with Christopher Landon, of course, who sadly, and I'm still bummed over that, the fact that he is no longer with the project. I understand it. I'm not mad at Christopher at all. I do get it, trust me. But I'm just upset that the circumstances were as such that he had to move on. So that's what frustrates me about it. But, right now we have to kind of heal, lick our wounds, if you will, and start to try to look ahead to the future. And this little bit of news here is interesting because, Guy and James were the team that wrote, as you know, Scream 5 and 6 together. So they were the ones that did all the writing. Radio Silence did nothing with the writing of the story. In fact, they were very vocal in multiple interviews that they had no idea what Guy and James were doing. They were separated from them the entire time, and they had no clue what was being written. They had no input to the story. They were literally just given the script, the final script, and that was it. Here it is. Go make this script come to life on screen. And that's how they did it for Scream 5 and 6. So in this case, the writing team is back. So if you were concerned about, having the real continuity in place, losing Guy Busick, which looked like what had happened, according to Production Weekly this week, he is officially attached as a writer. So looks like he will be joining James once again to co-write Scream 7 and get that script and story done. Now, the reason I say that, if you're a Stew Truther, this is good news, is because, in case you're not aware, Guy Busick is a self-admitted, very vocal, does not hide behind anything. He's very upfront that he is a Stew Truther. He believes Stu Macher is alive. And so anytime you have a writer writing a Scream film that has that disposition and that default idea, then there's always hope. I mean, it actually gives you more hope and more of a likely chance that Stu Macher could make an appearance in Scream 7 or beyond, depending what happens after 7. So, if you are a Stu truther, you're on that Stu train with me, this is good news. I think this is good news for us because at least there's a voice in the room with James who could be saying, well, you know, what about this? Maybe we can get Stu in here. I mean, there's at least conversations I'm sure going on. And Guy once said in an interview, this is probably a year ago, he said a comment like, I'm paraphrasing now, something like he's always trying to find a way to get Stu into the story. So if that's still the case and nothing indicates that it's not, then, you know, there's a chance. There's a better chance than there was with James Vanderbilt being the solo writer of the movie, which is what we thought was happening now that Christopher was gone. I thought with Christopher Landon there was also a chance that we could have gotten a Stu appearance as well. But now that he's gone, it looked like James Vanderbilt was doing it all on his own. And I was like, man, I don't think that's not good news. But now with Guy back, officially back attached to it in Production Weekly, it looks like there's a chance that we could indeed get Stu back. So we'll see. All right, we'll see what happens. But you know, all of those Stu clues and breadcrumbs that were in 5 and 6, and there's a lot of them that were there. I would imagine that Guy Busick had a big part in those being in the story. I suspect. Don't know that for a fact, but knowing that he is on the Stu train, I suspect he probably was the writer that, you know, kind of pushed that forward to put those clues and breadcrumbs in there for us to see. But now, you know, Scream 7, here we are, still in limbo. We don't have a director. Christopher Landon has been removed here in Production Weekly. So we don't obviously have a director yet. I'm going to make another video about that separately where we're going to talk about, I'm going to basically list out, a list of directors that I personally would be happy to see take over 7 now that Christopher's gone, Christopher was my number one choice. But stepping back and reevaluating things now and looking at the big picture again, there are some folks that come to mind that I personally think would be good choices. So I'll be making that video separately. Keep an eye out for that probably in the next 2 to 3 days, somewhere in there. I'll be publishing that out and posting it. Don't want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss notifications when that video does drop. You don't want to miss it. All right, guys, look, I'm going to leave it there, okay? So what I'd like you to do is leave me a comment in the comment section below and just let me know what you think about Guy Busick returning to have the Vanderbilt-Busick team restored to write Scream 7. How do you feel about that? Are you glad that we have the two of them together for continuity again? Or do you wish that there was different writers altogether? I would just like to hear your thoughts and your opinions on that. So the only way I can know that is if you leave a comment. So comment below. Let me see what you're thinking and what any theories you may have about Guy's effect on the film. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this update, but I will be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.